Hi everyone. Righty-ho. So next commission and next video will be this little beauty. Another crystal paperweight. Any glass crystal paperweight will do, of course. I just am very fortunate to have these, which are lovely heavy lead crystal. Now this client has asked for a little robin, and I'm going to engrave it on the underside as we did before. It's slightly different, the top and the bottom. The top is more curvy. Let's have a look if you look at that. And the bottom is slightly flatter. These have got a sort of a kind of ripple around the edge here, but you can get so many different paperweights, and they're usually an optical crystal, whereas this is lead crystal. Anyway, so I have drawn very roughly, oh my goodness, can you see this? Let me see. Let me get a piece of black cloth for you. There we go. So I've drawn it on this side, on the underside, a very, very basic robin shape. And you will see that I've also drawn a branch idea going on, very rough indeed. And what I kind of plan to do is the bird on the bottom, on the branch, but then coming into the top layer, I may do some little leaves or something like that, something going on the top level. Yeah, I think that will be rather nice. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. So, up first of all will be the little Dura white, soft white stone. Previously, I have called it the white Arkansas or white Arkansas. And as per usual, a very simple tracing of the outline that I've drawn, just so that I can wash off the pencil and just get on with it using water. Because of course if I use water first, it's going to wash off, which is just annoying. So adding in the branches, I'm not putting anything on the upper surface just yet because I still haven't decided. That is something that I will decide at the end of the video, whether I want to have engraving on both sides of this paperweight. You will notice that I have not placed a position of the eyes. There's a big diamond burr. The eyes and the beak and all that, because I'm going to do that much later. The first thing I want to do is create an outline using the diamond. Now I know we've already got an outline with the white Arkansas. I'm going back into my old habits. White Arkansas, the Dura white. And let me just wipe off this pencil. It's a very good waxy pencil, as you know. When you want it to come off, it won't, but when you don't want it to come off, it does. So now I'm following my thin lines, and while I don't often do this, there's a good reason I am doing this outline quite deep and quite thick with the diamond, and that is because I'm going to create a large area of depth in the shape of this bird. So any shadings and the like will happen much later. Now the first area I'm just tackling without going over the edges at all. I am trying to stick very neatly inside my line. This area is the top of the head. I am using a couple of random pictures of robins for reference. And unless you're really, really clever, I'm not very good at having an image in my head and simply copying it from my head. I prefer to have an accurate reference. And the depths are different. So it has a sort of deeper area, if you like, or a more prominent area on the top of the head. Then the neck area is not quite so prominent. So from an engraving point of view, that will be slightly shallower. And then let's have a look. There we go. Look, we're already starting to get some depth going in. And then the tummy and the wings are much deeper again. Now here you can see I've changed the burr, and I've got a whopping great flame-shaped burr. This is a good shape to use for a large area. Now I am messing up my watch, so I am going to use a bit of tape. I've picked up a little bit of dust, as you can see, so that it's not quite so tacky, and I'm just gently placing it down on the watch just to keep it from being sprayed. Unfortunately, my camera my camera, I have to keep wiping that very carefully, because I don't know how to get away from not spraying the camera lens, quite frankly. It needs to be there. These little sprays go everywhere, and it's not the most powerful camera that I can have it much higher and zoom it in. I prefer to have it much closer to the engraving. I have still zoomed it as well, actually. It's quite a good little camera. So I am filling in this whole area with big round motion, just to help with the evenness. You can see a tummy appearing now, looking through the crystal. Don't worry about direction or flow at the moment, because that can all come later. It's more the various depths and the shapes of these areas we've got to do first. So the wings, this wing, if you like, starting to build that up. The wing itself will have a deeper area than the tummy, so that appears to be coming on top of the tummy. So you start by getting the area to roughly the same depth first. But this burr is really good, and this crystal is really soft. So in some cases you may have to work a little bit harder than I am working. This is very, very soft to work on. And I'm being a little bit it's a bit doozy down there with that great big burr. I don't want to mess up the wings. But you can see how already it's starting to look like it is on top of the tummy, or on the side rather, the side area, simply because I've gone deeper on the wings. You will see that I feel it as well with my left hand thumb, the one that I'm holding and controlling the drill handpiece. Every now and again I will feel the engraving. Like there I'm just wiping it, but I also feel what's going on. I can feel quite quickly if it's smooth. Now you can see there is a ridge on the tummy area. That has got to go, but I will tackle that. I'm going into the head at the moment, sort of smoothing it out a little bit. So where I had used the other burr, the slightly smaller burr earlier on the top of the head, I've been able to blend that downwards towards the neck with this big burr. Right, so getting rid of those ridges on the tummy. Nice to be able to just get rid of ridges on tummies. Layers. I heard today a good one about losing weight. There's a good exercise, and that was to put down your fork and push the plate away. Oh, if only. Anyway, that was Tim Lefevre. He's a very good gym person. There we go. Look at the shapes coming. A little bit of 3D going on already. You'll notice that the little bit of back wing there I haven't done yet. That's because that's going to be really shallow. It's not going to be of any great depth, so that I can do later on. So now I've slightly extended the burr. In other words, I've pulled it out ever so slightly from the handpiece. Now you don't want to pull it out too much. That wouldn't be very good at all for either the handpiece or the burr. But just bringing it out ever so slightly, making it a little bit longer, means that I can lie it down a little bit flatter, use more of the side on this flat surface. Otherwise the handpiece would be getting in the way. And instantly I have got a super duper deep branch going on. And by doing the circular sort of narrow circular motion with the drill, you're instantly creating a sort of a rounded bark effect. A really lovely instant 3D going on. So without much effort at all, I can put in this thin branch coming up the top. I will not be adding anything to the upper surface at this stage. That is something that I decide on later. Right, let's have a look. There you go. Wow. That's amazing, isn't it? I love looking at engraving through the glass. It's always better. So here I've very roughly smudged in an eye. And I don't know if you can see it, but a very tiny little beak as well. So with this tiny little diamond burr, I am very carefully adding these features, or at this stage the positioning of them at least. Right, this is not very good filming at the moment. I'm sorry about that, but hiding my burr action with the water. Now, You can just about see that I am pressing quite hard, and I am going into the depth of the face so that it looks like it's really fitting into his face. You can see it's gone deeper and much clearer from this side. I can show you properly. There you go. You've got to get it deeper than what we've done already. So a little Dura white and into the eye to create a little eyeball. You don't want to give this bird a thyroid problem with very, very swollen eyeballs. You just want to give it a slight depth so that you know it's a little 3D eyeball in there. And once we give them some eyelids that are a little bit deeper than the eyeball, then it all hangs together nicely. So here you can see I am adding the teeny weeny little eyelids deeper than the eyeball, and this will make it all sit together nicely. Just going over the beak again ever so carefully. My goodness, I hold my breath when I'm doing a bird's beak. It really needs to be so neat, because as soon as you go that little bit too heavy, oh my goodness, and there's nothing you can do about it without a really, really big polisher to polish out an area, a large area. I am fortunate that I have got one. If you are in America, mine is a Covington. So here you can see again, looking from the top. Now I'm pointing out the thick outline, which of course we need to get rid of. And so going back to the diamond burr now, and actually working dry, just so because I can see it nice and clearly. And I am blending the edge inwards. These are sort of layers of feathers. You will notice that I turned the glass around because it is easier for me to work this way, to blend it nicely coming downwards towards myself. Whatever engraving you're doing, you need to be comfortable in the stroke. What I'm doing here is very lightly filling in the back wing and then coming over the tummy area again, making it deep over the back wing. Sort of like a deeper area like the crown of his head, the top of his head. I'm showing you here that I'm using the underside along the edge. The underside of that burr. I do hope I blend the bottom of his tummy upwards, because that is distinctly not in the right direction. It's funny how you see these things afterwards and think, crumbs, I really do hope. So I'm usually engraving, as you know, at about 100 miles an hour, because this in fact was a commission. I had to get it done right quick, so yeah, it was quite fast. Having said that, this virtually the whole video is, as usual, edited to 120% of normal speed, so a tiny bit faster. Now I'm using funny little jerky movements because this is the edge of the branch, so it really doesn't matter. Don't know which way the bark or how the bark is behaving on this, because I don't know what kind of tree it is. Not a clue. I don't know how old it is, how battered it is. Well, I'm thoroughly enjoying this, I have to say. It's just such a lovely subject and such a beautiful little piece of crystal. And we have got lots more to do. But for the meantime, I will be ending this video and then getting on with editing part 2. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back with you shortly. Cheers for now.